when we're talking about them, when we're talking about them, the principalities of debauchery, we're really talking about interdimensional beings, and what they've been trying to do is subvert the world. And when I say subvert the world, I think the consensus within the online conspiratorial ethos is that subverting the world means transgenderism. And I really do think that that is the intelligence agencies working against you, because they don't have to do anything at this point. They just have to boost false information, which I've talked about before. But that's essentially what they're doing. Everyone is having the wrong idea and they just boost that person on the fucking online. Anyways, they give that the person bots and all of this stuff so false information can permeate. They don't even have to induct or induce the public with false information. You guys are doing it by yourselves. But I digress. When they're talking about subverting the world, I think we understand, though, it is that transhumanism crap. But it's deeper than that. The interdimensional beings I've spoke about before, they need vessels, and the vessels that they need, they can enter by inducing trauma. Intense amount of trauma can fracture the toroidal field, and they can enter through that. But Caucasians / homunculoids who lack melanin and don't have a sheath, they are the primary vessels for these interdimensional beings. They are. With this being said, and with this being a fact, that's why you see the hierarchy that you do and the Native Indigenous people at the bottom of all freaking cultures. They're permeating this colorism because they're trying to make their vessel, right, their container, the primary object for privilege. And also, Caucasians do, and this is a fact as well, most Caucasians, excuse me, but literally lack fundamental empathy. Like, there's a lot of empathy that you gain with having melanin, and a lot of Caucasians lack it. They're like the perfect vessel, and they're also the perfect sheath and shield for if a interdimensional being were to cloak itself in somebody's skin, it would use a particular people who lack introspection so that they're always protected from being prosecuted. So there's that. But what subversion they're really talking about in these interdimensional beings is they're trying to make a world unlike truth. And the truth is that we all came from Source. Source started consciousness in three-dimensional space by fathoming matter, seeing matter. Matter cannot exist in time without time, and time creates space and spatial awareness. This is quantum physics. This is just it, right? When Source came down, from the first, we all disseminate from. The avatar, I've talked about this before, is a giant melanated womb being with parthenogenesis. Giant. We all disseminate from them, and we all begat shorter because we're breeding ourselves shorter. Men are choosing smaller women because they're coaxing their egos, and they've been doing this for at least the past 10,000 years. But I digress. They want to subvert that understanding, what Source is, and they want to, the interdimensional beings and those Caucasians and people, Satanists who work with them, who Satanists, they don't even know what they're doing. And Luciferians too, they're even dumber than Satanists. But they're working and colluding with these interdimensional beings to create another hive mind contrary to Source. Just like Source and creation has ether, has ways we can tap in and understand. Now they're creating 5G to override ether. They're creating chips, and Elon Musk is doing, brain transplants with chips and all that mess to override source and your connection to source. And they're creating a hive mind with this AI and these chips and these databases and these smart cities to control as if they were the Most High, as if they were source and creation itself. They're subverting in that way. You guys are stuck on this transgender crap. It's like, let it go. Just like you're kind of stuck on the fake Star of David people are a problem. It's not all of them. It's not all of them. It's not. Come on now. It's not. But are they the ones that are, yes, they are the ones. They are the ones, but it's not all of them. Just like those Satanists who would use the fake Star of David religion to sheath and cloak themselves in, so that the fake Star of David people who are secular defend themselves because they don't think that they are anything bad, and they haven't done anything bad as an individual, but then they are failing to see from lack of introspection that it is amongst them as a collective, and they're taking it personally. That's how this crap moves throughout society and throughout our understanding. And that's how things become subverted, because it only takes a select few people to completely dilapidate a whole nation. An informed minority can completely manipulate a majority. So when we're talking about subversion, we're not talking about transgenderism and all this other crap. We are specifically talking about the steps that they are taking in order to subvert our understanding of what source and consciousness is and our connection to it. If you're struggling to discern between what is diabolical and debauchery and sinful from what is innately good and of the Most High and of Source, ask yourself, is it sovereign? Are you taking away someone's sovereignty and doing something and saying something? Or are you gaining your sovereignty by doing something and thinking a certain way? You have to ask yourself sovereignty. That is the key. The Most High does not want you to not be sovereign, and the world would look dramatically different. But I digress.